Good evening. Here it is Monday, and once again, we are during our 8 p.m. storybook reading. And this is to spread a little joy to folks out there, which, as all of us know, we really could use some joy. Every week I get to introduce some of the readers that are going to be here for the week. Last week, we were pleased to have Ryder Hedgerow, who was the Giro d'Italia 2012 winner. We have MLA Ann Kang, Minister for Citizen Services and responsible for multiculturalism. We have Saanich Councillor Rebecca Mercero, and we had Gregor Craigie of CBC Radio, host of On the Island. So I'll tell you all about this week's readers in a little bit. This is one of my favorite pandas, Shanghai, who's going to keep me company tonight. I was trying to think of what book I'd read this evening, and I do have a favorite book that's called The Seven Chinese Brothers, which is quite a long story, and I thought tonight instead I would read another book that's very similar, and it's called The Seven Chinese Sisters. And this book is written by Kathy Tucker and illustrated by Grace Lynn. So I hope you're all comfy and cozy, and we'll start to read this book. Once upon a time, there were 7 Chinese sisters who lived together and took care of each other. Each sister had shiny black hair and sparkling eyes. Each stood straight and tall, except for the 7th sister, who was just a baby. First sister could ride a scooter fast as the wind. Second sister knew karate, kick, chop, hi-ya. Third sister could count to 500 and beyond. Fourth sister could talk to dogs. Fifth sister could catch any ball, no matter how fast and high it was thrown. Sixth sister could cook the most delicious noodle soup in the world. And 7th sister, no one was really sure yet what she could do, as she was so little she had never spoken even a word. So the 7 sisters were all very different. Far away across the bridge, through a forest and up a mountain, lived a terrible dragon. One day he woke up very hungry. He took a big sniff, 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 and smelt something wonderful. It was 6 sisters' noodle soup. Down the mountain, over the forest, and across the bridge flew the dragon, straight to the 7 sisters' house. The sisters were so busy they didn't see him coming. First sister was polishing her scooter. Second sister was practicing her black belt. Third sister was counting grains of rice. Fourth sister was talking to a stray beagle. And fifth sister was catching a ball up a mile or so, throwing a ball up a mile or so and catching it. And sixth sister had just stepped into the pantry to get more noodles. And 7th sister was crawling around on the kitchen floor. When the dragon peeked in the kitchen door and saw plump little 7th sister, he forgot all about the soup. And instead, he snatched up the baby. Oh no! Help! Then he flew back over the bridge and forest, up the mountain, and into his cave. But as soon as the dragon set 7th sister down, he was just going to get some salt, and she said her first word ever, and it was an excellent word. It was, help! The 6 sisters had just started to look for the 7th sister when they heard her call. Right away, they knew that it was her voice. 7th sister is in trouble, said first sister, leaping on her scooter. We must save her. The other sisters hung on behind, pulled by first sister, who was strong as well as fast, and the sisters sped across the bridge. Beyond was the deep forest filled with many trees, so many third sister counted them by twos. Now 7th sister's cries were louder. The girls headed up the mountain Sisters headed up the mountain and soon reached the dragon's cave. Help! 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 They could smell smoke and hear the most awful roars. Fourth sister listened carefully. Dragons do not talk exactly like dogs, but she could understand a little. The dragon was roaring. There's no use calling for help. You're going to be my supper. And suddenly, seventh sister shouted her second word ever, which was no. If you don't bring her out, sir, you will regret it, called fourth sister in the best dog language she could manage. The dragon stopped roaring. What was the girl yelling? All he could understand was, bring her out, sir. But no one had ever tried to talk to him before, and he was so curious he picked up seventh sister and rushed outside. Second sister stepped forward, then fast as lightning, she leaped into the air, slapped the dragon on the chin, and shouted, "Hi-ya!" The dragon was so surprised that, whoop, seventh sister flew out of his mouth. Back, back, back ran fifth sister, back, 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 and reaching up, 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 she caught seventh sister neatly like a fly ball. When the dragon saw that his dinner was gone, he fell to the ground sobbing. Hungry, hungry, he whimpered, and fourth sister understood him perfectly because the word hungry is exactly the same for dragons as it is for dogs. He's starving, she explained, and now all the sisters could see he was quite skinny and sort of sad. Tomorrow, sixth sister can bring him some soup, first sister said, but we've got to get seventh sister home. She's all worn out and she needs her diaper changed. Sisters, go home, cried baby seventh sister, who was learning to talk very quickly now. First sister put seventh sister on her back and hopped on her scooter. The other sisters hung on behind and they whizzed fast as the wind down the mountain. But when they reached the forest, first sister stopped. Now that they didn't have the seventh sister's cry to guide them, how could they find their way through all the trees? Don't worry, said third sister. I counted the trees when we came. We must go past 500. And so, when third sister had counted 500 trees by twos, the seven sisters came to the bridge. They scooted across and back to their house, where they had a wonderful meal of six sisters' delicious noodle soup. And what did the seventh sister do when she grew tall? She became the best storyteller in the world, and she always told this story first. So, once again, this book was The Seven Chinese Sisters, written by Kathy Tucker and illustrated by Grace Lim. And I want to let you know our readers for this week. So tomorrow we have MLA Rob Fleming, Minister of Education, reading. On Wednesday, we have Jason Pierce, co-host of CTV Morning Live in Vancouver. On Thursday, we have Bruce Deacon, marathoner representing Canada at the 1996 and 2000 Olympic Games and silver medalist at the 2003 Pan American Games. And on Friday, we have AJ Cruz of Ocean 98.5. So we're looking forward to all the storybook readers for this week. And I hope you enjoyed this story tonight. And nighty-night, sweet dreams.